Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, best addition to the Mario canon? Oh, the one bullet bills come out of? Stop by for a while so the Nintendo Cartridge Society stops by with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers, and I am joined, as I am always joined by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. Mark, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. How's it going for you?
It's going all right. So this last weekend, I had to buy a thermostat.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever bought a thermostat before.
Have I? No, not like I went into a store and picked one out.
You did do that, or you did
No,
not
I did not do that.
Okay.
So no.
So I guess I have not gone into a store to pick one out either. I was given the assignment by the thermostat, Google Nest, whatever.
Sure.
No
yeah.
free ads, of course.
No,
but that's what I'm going with. That's what I trust with my home. So I placed the order on Amazon. It was Saturday, and they were like, delivering today. And I was like, wow, crazy. What a future that we live in. We live in a world where Amazon can deliver this Google thing to my house the same day I order it. And then, get another email to be like, it's out for delivery. Cool. Amazon, or it's what they do. They're turning it around real fast. They're like before 10 p.m. And I'm like, okay, it's Saturday. Like, settle down. 10 o'clock comes and goes. No delivery. No update on Sunday. And I'm like, it's Sunday. It's okay. Even though I know they're doing stuff on Sunday. It's Amazon, right? And then I check on Monday. And on Monday, it's like, we have no information about this product.
Huh.
So they told me that they were delivering it that day.
That it was out for delivery.
That it was out for delivery. And then suddenly they're like, we don't know. The product doesn't exist.
So what happened?
Mark, no one knows. So I'm talking to someone at Amazon support. And they're like, well, we can send you another one. And it's just like, they don't know. Because they don't show it as delivered.
Right.
But
it just disappeared off the face of the earth.
It just disappeared.
Now, that wasn't the day that the rapture was supposed to happen, right? Your thermostat
Sure.
didn't get raptured.
I had the one good thermostat.
I mean, thermostats are notoriously...
now I'm going to wind up with a sinful thermostat.
These are the trade-offs.
Yeah.
These are the trade-offs.
Right.
This is why I've never bought a thermostat. It's too complicated.
It's very complicated. But the new one is supposed to be coming tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe have it blessed by a priest or something.
That's a great call. I need a young priest and an old priest. And I think we just had to expect the old priest is going to die. All right, Mark, if people would like to support us, they can do so by heading on over to patreon.com/Nintendo Cartridge Society. And if you're over there and you're supporting us at the 4-bit or 8-bit or 16-bit levels, that's thank you for doing that. But as our way of thanking you back, we've got some extra shows for you to listen to over there.
That's right. At the 4-bit level, you previously had access to NCS Detective Club, and you still have that. You now have access to NCS Goes Broadway and the first season of NCS Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, at the 8 and 16-bit levels, you still have exclusive access to all the miniseries and the new episodes that come out monthly.
Right, which we're currently doing NCS at the movies. We just had a great conversation with friend of the show, Jeremy Schmidt, about One Battle After Another, which was a great movie. We're very excited about it and had a great time. Next, we're going to be talking about, is Tron next?
Tron is next.
Tron is next. So are we less excited about Tron? Maybe. It'll still be a good show, though.
Yes, absolutely.
So anyway, check out the Patreon. There's even stuff available if you follow us on the Patreon for free. So if you do that already, you can, the Detective Club shows are there. And also if you are just interested in checking that out, you can head on over to patreon.com/Nintendo Cartridge Society and follow us for free. It doesn't cost you anything. Also doesn't cost you anything, the Discord.
Yeah, you can be chatting with us and other like-minded folks about Nintendo.
So just email us, Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com. And we'll send you an invitation. And I suspect that our conversation today will generate conversation in the Discord.
Ooh, that would be very fun. I hope so.
Because I think we're going to be making a lot of sort of like soft judgment calls about things that everyone knows about. So like I think it'll be a fertile place for future conversation.
Yeah,
So
so
get in the Discord.
yes, it's always a lot of fun.
All right, Mark, let's do it. Let's discuss the best additions to the Mario canon. Okay, a couple things to start. What are we talking about? Why are we doing this?
Well, Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 are released on Switch
Woohoo!
today.
Bum, 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 bum.
And, I guess we won't talk too much about what they introduced to the canon because, at least not here up top, because it'll be a fertile topic of conversation. Did you say fertile topic of conversation when we were talking about the Discord?
I don't remember what I said.
I think you might have.
30
I think
seconds
that's why
ago.
it's on my mind, and that's
Yeah.
why I think I said it here.
Well,
But
look,
regardless,
it'll be a fertile ground for conversation. And what I also just want to like lay out what we mean by canon, because I do think that there is a tendency in like video game and just like IP in general for like canon to sort of be synonymous with lore.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not really how I approach this exercise. I don't know exactly how you approached it, but like if we were talking about like, the greatest additions to the, Middle Earth canon via those books, then yeah, sort of each one of those would be a lore thing, right? But I don't think it would be out of line to call out like a stylistic thing, or if you wanted to say that like one of the biggest contributions of The Hobbit to the Middle Earth books is like it includes song,
Yes, yeah.
that like that's part of the canon of the thing. So sometimes some of the things I'm going to put forth as like canon additions aren't going to be characters, locations, power-ups. It's going to be something more conceptual.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. Mine are more things.
Okay.
But I think that's totally cool.
And and part of the reason that like I'm approaching it that way is that the concept of Mario lore kind of icks me out a little bit, where I'm like, guys, settle down. Who cares?
Right. Nintendo doesn't take it that seriously.
Right.
What is the Mushroom Kingdom? How does it work?
Right.
Why is Mario in space? It just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right? But there are obviously like parts of this tapestry that can be characters or locations or whatever that like are technically lore that I will be referring to as like additions to the canon.
Right.
Also, the term canon, and I think this is correct. I only know this like 40%. But the concept of canon comes from like the Vatican and like determining what books belong in the Bible. And so like there are
they shoved them all in a cannon and shot it.
That's spelled differently, so probably not.
At the Spanish Armada.
Oh, well, okay, maybe. They had to shoot something at the Spanish Armada. But so I like to think that you and I are like Vatican III over here, but for Mario.
Yeah, well, that explains why we're both dressed as priests.
Well, holding hands as always. I guess it doesn't explain why we've always been dressed as priests.
Right, but it's just good happenstance for this episode. So what we're going to do is we are going to go through every like Mario platformer and
every mainline Super Mario Brothers game.
That's
basically
right.
Super Mario game.
Yes, and you and I have both come with probably a few like nominations, and we'll narrow it down to at least maybe like one thing each that we.
I think we should narrow it down to. I think we should come up with definitive answers for each game.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying is like I have a bunch of them for each game.
Oh, I do.
And then just saying like, but this is the one that I want to put up as the one for consideration. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I whittled mine down a lot more than that.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Not always.
but you're right. By the time we finish this exercise, we will have determined the best canon edition from each of these mainline Super Mario platformers.
And we've got something like 20 games here, so maybe we should just dive in
I mean, it's real fertile ground.
for a conversation. So let's get planting by starting with Super Mario Bros. The one that started it all. Sort of hard to.
Yeah, what do you even do here?
I mean, I kind of want to just be like Super Mario Bros.
Right, because it like introduced everything.
There are a couple things it doesn't introduce. Does not introduce Mario or Luigi,
Mhm.
right? We met those guys in regular old Mario Brothers.
Mhm.
Doesn't introduce Koopas. We also met them in Mario Bros. Everything else,
Yeah.
kind of new.
You know,
And a lot of it remains canonically important. Goombas, Bowser, Peach, Starman, mushrooms,
one-up mushrooms.
one-up mushrooms, fire flowers, like coins. So yeah,
Lakitu.
yeah, of course.
Question blocks.
Spinies,
Pipes. No.
piranha
Pipes.
plants.
Pipes. You're right. Pipes are in
Oh,
Mario
yeah.
Brothers.
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. And I guess so are fireballs, but not as a power up. And coins too. Okay, I take coins. Coins are out. Coins are no longer part of it. Also, I guess Spinies would have been in Mario Bros.
Oh yeah,
As
that's
well.
right.
Okay, so already off to a great start. I do think that from like a conceptual level, this is the only one that I really don't have a like good solid answer for. But like on the conceptual level of like a scrolling platformer, it's hard because Super Mario Brothers invents so much.
Yes. So this is one where I like leaning into the like items aspect of canon. Like
Mm.
for me, I narrowed it down to the super mushroom. I think the super mushroom, but it's so hard because like all of these are so important and like you said foundational
Right.
and continue to exist. But if we had to narrow it down to the most important one, I guess I'm saying the super mushroom.
But to that end, why wouldn't it just be Bowser, right? Like
Right, or Princess Peach.
or Princess Peach. And so it
Toads.
well, toads are present here, but I would say, and also toads aren't that important. None of my answers are toads.
Oh, is that true for me? Let me see if that's true. I think that's true for me too.
I could maybe make an argument for a toad later on.
Right.
in
Yeah. Mind melt.
So what do you want to do here? Do we even have, or like, is this just like the birth of the canon?
Well, can we really? Okay, that's maybe the best way to put it because
yes,
we can't be cowardly on the first entry, and so
I'm comfortable being
we
cowardly at any
will-
point.
So
in this
we'll
exercise.
bravely say that you can't really name one because it's the birth of the canon.
Right. Okay. Great. So we're just calling Super Mario Brothers "Birth of the Canon."
Mm-hmm.
Great. Which then immediately throws us into a little bit of a curveball with Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan, aka Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels. And look again, just to like invoke Vatican II and the biblical concept of canon. That introduces the idea of Gnostic gospels that are not that should be thrown out. And I'm
Shoved into a cannon and shot at the Spanish Armada.
That's right. There we go. But so that's I've come up with something as additive to the canon.
Oh,
from
very good.
From Lost Levels. But I almost want to say doesn't count. I don't like it.
Lost Levels is really hard because it remixes things,
Mhm.
you know, that are present in the original Super Mario Brothers, and it adds like wind, you know, that
Right.
you're have to jump against. But it doesn't really add all that many new things. But I did settle on one as well that even Nintendo kind of treats as a Gnostic gospel. So what did you settle on?
So mine is more conceptual. It
Okay.
is not this is maybe one of my least tangible things, but it's just the concept of little stinkerism in level design. Something that we see mostly come back in terms of like mods and Mario Maker levels, and the whole concept of Kaizo is born out of Lost Levels, right? The fact that the game is doing things specifically to mess up the way it knows you're going to play. That the game is playing a prank on you.
That's good. I like that a lot.
But what did you have?
I mean, poison mushrooms.
Which I feel like is a symptom of the little stinkerism.
No, I mean you're right. And really, poison mushrooms only show up a couple of other places.
Yeah.
Like mostly in like special worlds in Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Brothers 3, and then in Super Mario 3D Land, they do have these poison mushrooms, but they're not in the main game. They're only in the like special levels that you unlock after the fact. And so, or like the e-reader levels for Super Mario
Yes.
Advance 4. So it really is kind of this like little stinkerism that you're talking about. Like even
Yes.
Nintendo knows that like we reserve the things from lost levels
Yes.
for when we just want to mess with the player.
So I've infected you with it. I don't know if Gnostic is actually the right word. What is it?
Well, I mean, it's fertile ground.
It's
one way or
fertile
the
ground
other.
for conversation. Someone let us know. There's a term for like decanonized books.
I can't think of it.
But
I know what you're talking about.
And it's not Gnostic, but
No,
Gnostic does describe Gospels.
Well, first
starts with a G and an N.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Should we just look it up? I feel like we might just want to look it up so we can move past this.
Okay, we think we're talking about a apocryphal.
Yeah, apocryphal.
Gospel. Yes.
Okay.
Apocryphal books of the Bible. And is Lost Levels apocryphal? We don't know.
We don't know.
But so do you want to call it Little Stinkerism, or do we want to call it like the poison mushroom as representative of Little Stinkerism?
Well, I really think that you are correct that Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels' biggest contribution is Little Stinkerism, of which poison mushrooms is a like example.
Sure. Okay, great. So we are going with Little Stinker. Okay, great.
But now we really hit the ground running with Super Mario Brothers 2 or Super Mario Brothers USA.
Yes, and obviously there's a lot of new stuff in this game. Mark, what new thing did you go first? What is the new bit of canon that you wanted to celebrate from from Super Mario Brothers 2?
Okay, well, there's a lot that I felt like were worth shouting out. So can I do that?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, yes.
So I mean, in our hearts, but not in the minds of Nintendo, we of course have Wart.
Right.
The king of Subcon.
Right, which I agree. We love that. And man, anytime Wart comes back, I'm like, yeah, that's my guy. But they almost never bring him back.
I know, and I keep hoping for a day when Wart is like reintroduced in a Super Mario game somehow.
Right. Or is like added to Smash or something.
Yes. Yeah. Or there's like a lady Wart and they play tennis together.
There we go.
But Shy Guys, Ninjas, Vegetables, but where I settled is on like character movement.
So you mean like that
floating,
the differing character
Mario
movement.
being like the all around, Luigi having that crazy jump, and then Toad being fast.
So my pick was just the Shy Guy. That like a legend was born in Super Mario Brothers 2. And like they bring him back all the time. I guess they don't start bringing Shy Guy back until what, like Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, I feel like it took a while.
But now he's like a mainstay and is like in all the Mario games, and also is like, you know, a playable character in every Mario Kart and party and all this kind of stuff. I get what you're saying about like the differing character movements. The only thing is they don't return to that idea for like 30 years after this. Cause like, right? I mean, it's really just here and Super Mario 3D World where there are 4 playable characters and they all have different movesets.
Well, oh yeah, I guess that could be true. Yeah. Because in like New Super Mario Brothers Wii,
everyone's the same. And Peach isn't a playable character.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like the 2 Toads.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It is one of the things that I love about Super Mario Brothers 2, and one of the things that like really captured my imagination. But in some ways, it kind of goes into the Wart bucket. Like, and maybe the only thing that rescues it from Wartdom is that they have in fact done it one more time.
Right.
And kind of recently, like within the last. That game's over 10 years old now, isn't it?
Yes.
Great. So yeah, I don't know. That's why I went with just straight up Shy Guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. This is kind of blowing my mind because I hadn't really thought about it before. I mean, I will say that in other appearances in the franchise, like, or like the broader franchise, like Peach has a floating mechanic that,
Like in Smash Brothers,
right.
I think is kind of it. Also, Luigi has a like higher, slipperier jump in Lost Levels.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So I guess it is Shy Guys.
Okay, it's good. It'll be Shy Guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Poor ninjas. I like them a lot, but
I like
they're just
ninjas
not,
too.
They just don't have the personality of Shy Guys.
This, Super Mario Brothers 2 is also where we meet Bob Bombs for the first time, which is pretty crazy. Because they are also like mainstays of kind of everything now.
Right.
And come back, in Super Mario Brothers 3, and I believe, they're in World as well. Like, that's something that they picked up on kind of immediately. But the Shy Guy is more iconic, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, great. Moving on now to Super Mario Brothers 3.
It's another one where there are a lot of possible
Yes.
candidates.
A lot of possible candidates. I'll put forth my candidate, and then we'll see. It sounds like you maybe have a bunch.
Yeah.
But mine is just the Koopa Kids.
Okay, so I went back and forth between the Koopa Kids or Koopalings and the Tanuki suit. And
Yeah.
I think for me the Tanuki suit like kind of trumps the Koopa Kids.
Right. And so like when we say the Tanuki, we're sort of like encompassing both versions of it, right? Both,
yeah,
like,
the
just
leaf,
getting
like,
the leaf
transformation. Yes, and really kind of like in some ways the Koopa Kids are like, well, no, actually I guess they show up in World. So
Yeah.
but then after that they kind of take a break for
then
a while.
they take a break, but then they come back in New Super Mario Brothers U, and Wonder. Wait, well, I guess in the DLC for Wonder that's not yet out. But then they're playable characters in Kart and Smash and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I
Mhm.
think it's got to be the like leaf, like Tanuki suit transformation.
let's just go with a Tanuki / raccoon suit.
But some of the other things that it introduces, like Bowser's airships, Toad houses, I think P switches. I think Mario 3 is the first time that P switches
Whoa.
show up.
Yeah.
Thwomps, Boom Boom.
Yeah.
That's just just like a little bit.
Super Mario Brothers 3 introduced a lot of stuff that is just like now part of the franchise, and only a handful of things like the Hammer Brothers suit or like the Frog suit. That's like, oh, okay, that's sort of a creative dead end. But like just the idea that they are giving Mario suits, right, and
Right.
power ups that are just going to be around in this one game, and like that's it. That's something that like comes back over and over again. But yeah, the Tanuki and the raccoon suit. 100%. Great bit of canon added in Super Mario Brothers 3, which brings us to Super Mario Land for the Game Boy.
I think there's only one answer here.
Daisy.
Yeah, Princess Daisy.
Because nothing else from this game is really part of the Mario universe going forward. Like Tatanga, flying levels, submarines, like none of this. And look, I know there's a submarine in Super Mario 64. I know this, but they're different submarines.
Well, no. I guess like the Jaxi from Super Mario Odyssey
Sure.
is kind of like based on stuff you would find in Sarasa Land, but no, it's really, and not made by the regular, like Miyamoto's wasn't involved with Super Mario Land.
Right.
So it is like a weird side
They
thing.
would knock on his door and he'd be like, "Don't bother me with that crap. We just want to see if you would."
Yeah.
He'd shut him down.
But yeah, I mean, but Princess Daisy.
Yeah.
For sure, the most important thing out of Super Mario Land.
Princess Daisy, also my pick. So we will move on now to Super Mario World. Another one where, look, there's a lot of cool stuff in here, but I feel like there's just one answer.
Yoshi.
It's Yoshi, right? Like, Yoshi's an unstoppable, like, my God. The cover of Nintendo Power that has Mario riding Yoshi on it is just like an icon. It's like a statement of purpose, being like, the new Nintendo thing is here and it lets you ride a dinosaur. So yeah, hard for me to say anything except for Yoshi for this one.
Yeah. But again, like some other things added to the
Yep.
canon, like some on my list are the Koopa clown car.
Yes.
Uh
Even though it's Bowser who's driving it, we don't
right.
really associate Bowser with the clown car.
No. Definitely becomes like a Bowser Jr. thing.
Yes.
Ghost houses and booze
Yeah.
in general. Okay, this is one because I confidently wrote on my list Kamek. And then I like dug a little deeper and it turns out no.
No, they're Magic Koopas.
They're just magic Koopas, just random nameless magic Koopas.
Right.
And it's not until Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, that
That
it's
we
like
meet Kamek.
Kamek, yeah.
Right. Yes.
Secret Worlds. I think this is the first time in the Mario games where they have this like
Yeah.
secret world where the levels are more difficult and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, and like alternate paths through the world.
Yeah,
Like
for
Super
sure.
Mario Brothers 3 has like different directions you can go like on the map, but they all kind of come back and like end together. Super Mario World does a crazy thing where you can like circumnavigate the globe by going into the sky.
Well, and levels have two separate
Alternate exits.
exits.
Yeah. Man, that's so cool. There's nothing cooler in a platformer than multiple exits to a level.
I know.
That's so good.
It also introduced checkpoints.
Wow, that's an incredible thing to think about. That there weren't. I guess levels were pretty short before
Yeah,
Super Mario World.
especially Super Mario Brothers 3. Those levels are so short.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really realize until, I feel like a decade ago or something when I went back to play it and you're like, oh, these are like 30-second levels.
Yeah, some of them you can get through really, really fast. And not that the levels in World are like super long, because like they're not.
But the pace of World is totally different where it's asking you to slow down and explore.
Find a keep.
Interesting that neither of us picked or even really mentioned so far like the cape, like the feather that gives you the cape.
I mean, kind of another dead end, right?
Mhm.
Like we don't see Mario wear that cape. I mean, we see it again in Yoshi's Island, but like that kind of it. When else does Mario wear the cape?
I know. I feel like if anything, the cape and like the wing cap from 64, not to get ahead of ourselves, are like just reflect how powerful the Tanuki suit in 3 was, where they're like, well, we got to
make him fly.
We've got to figure out some way to like elaborate on that. It almost feels like how the Ocarina in Ocarina of Time was so powerful. It's just like
he's got to play music in all of them. What's funny is like in both with both the cape and the wing cap, I'm like, yes, I see how that could make Mario fly. Versus a raccoon tail where I'm like, nope, don't get it. Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
In Super Mario Galaxy, he flies with just like black overalls. Doesn't really make sense either, but he's in space, so you can let it go. Okay, so Super Mario World, obviously it's Yoshi.
Yeah, hands down.
Next, a little bit of a sideways step, and again, possibly an obvious answer, but we'll talk about it. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins on the Game Boy.
For most of these games, I have multiple entries. For this one, I just have a single bullet point.
So I think we probably have the same nominee. It's Wario.
It's Wario.
Because this is another kind of dead end game. Like we go to an island that presumably Mario owns.
And it's his castle that Wario's taken over.
That's right. And like
he has a giant automaton of himself.
That's right, and a haunted house.
And a haunted house.
And also he goes into space. So like this is the introduction of Mario in space, believe it or not. But I would not say that that's like what this game is. And I don't think when we do revisit that in the canon, it's like a new idea at that point.
Well, especially because like the presentation of Super Mario Land 2 is so reflexive, right? Like Super Mario Land, Mario is tiny. Everything is really itty bitty.
So small, yeah.
But then in this game, they're like, no, we got to make it look like Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah, or World, kind of. I feel like it's I always thought that Super Mario Land was them trying to make Super Mario Brothers, and Super Mario Land 2 was them trying to make Super Mario World. But yeah, it's just there are like ants and like guys with little Jason masks, and a lot of the enemies like never come back ever again. There are those cowfish things
Uh-huh.
that are swimming in tree sap. What's happening in this game?
I mean, it's a fun game.
Yes.
We did a whole episode on it back in 2019 when we did a weird sequels month, and I had a lot of fun playing it and experiencing it. And Wario is like crazy in this one.
Yes. And he's just like the villain that you fight at the very end of it.
Mm-hmm.
He uses all the same power-ups that you collect over the course of the game. It's a very fun final fight. The only thing that I bumped on a little bit here when I was like, it's got to be Wario, is that Wario, like, obviously he's a mainstay in like Mario spin-off games and has his own two of his own series. But like in mainline Mario games, is this the last time we see Wario?
Ooh, yeah, probably.
I think it's still an excellent choice for like entry in the canon because he's so present everywhere else.
Well, runner-up, of course, is the giant Mario automaton.
Right, of course, which we never see again, but I'm always hoping we do. I like that it's like wind up somehow.
yeah.
All right.
But you're right. You're right. Wario is so Wario is not playable in Wonder.
No.
Yeah. Wow.
The only other Mario, like mainline Mario game that Wario is playable in would be this Mario 64 DS. Which is also just a weird thing in and of itself. And we're considering that apocryphal because it's not on our list.
Not on our list.
All right, moving on to Super Mario 64.
Yes.
So this is where I went abstract.
Okay.
Because I'm just saying the thing that this added to the canon is Mario's gymnastic athleticism. This is where we start doing like triple jumps. This is where we're doing like crouching into a backflip. This is where we're running and doing the cartwheel back. This is like Mario jumping and diving. He's always been a run, jump. That's kind of it, right? Run and jump have been his verbs. But the way Super Mario 64 like complicates all of that and like plants the idea that like Mario can do advanced jumping techniques if he's got enough runway, if he's jumped a couple times before, doing the long jump, right? Like all of these things that become not standard in all the Mario games going forward, but like a reasonable expectation that you'll be able to do in a 3D Mario game from every point forward.
I think that's a really good pick. The one thing I would say is that it is, I think, the first time in a Super Mario Brothers game that that's true. But I would argue that Donkey Kong 94
I know.
is like the testing ground for that sort of thing.
Right.
Because he's like backflipping and all that kind of stuff.
That's where he first does like he does the handstand into like the backflip. Well, what are your nominations?
Well, mine are both Princess Peach focused. So the first is kind of like the blending of Princess Peach, as she was known in Japan, with Princess Toadstool, as she was known in like the US, at least up to that point, by calling her Princess Peach Toadstool, and then we just dropped the Toadstool part. And
Princess Toadstool Peach is how she says it in the opening letter,
right? Because she's like doing her official title, Princess Toadstool, but then she's like Peach, but her name is Princess Peach Toadstool.
Sure. Yes, I get you.
But the second thing, and what I maybe think is the stronger candidate out of mine too, is Peach's castle. The design of Peach's castle,
dude.
Because yeah, it's definitely, the castle does not look like the Nintendo 64 castle exactly in future entries, but it is for sure the template
like this. Yeah, that is true. And we never go to her castle in other games.
You do in Odyssey. You don't.
Sorry, I meant previous games.
Oh yeah. You're going to other castles.
You certainly are going to other castles. Usually just to find a king that's been turning like a spider or something,
or like toads jumping out of a bag or something like that.
Yeah, it's unclear. Yeah. So Peach's castle is a great. That's a great call, and it also like feels representative of not just the concept of Peach's castle, but of like a hub world, which is something that we will revisit in some of these other games. Let's do it. Let's do Peach's castle.
Okay.
If only because my Mario's gymnastic athleticism is
It's
present in
it's
Donkey
a
Kong
good
94.
nomination. A good
Well,
nomination.
thank you.
So that brings us to Super Mario Sunshine.
Yes. And of course, the answer is Piantas. Moving on.
No, I think you're right. I think it is Piantas.
Okay, so I went a little bit more abstract than that
Uh-huh.
because it's just sort of like the beachy summer vibes,
Mm.
which become a part of like the Mario aesthetic in some ways, especially in like Mario Kart. Like I feel like we're always going to be revisiting beach towns and resorts. That's just part of like the Mario DNA, but it wasn't before Sunshine.
Yeah, Sunshine is definitely like the vacation maker for
Yes.
the Mario series. Even Odyssey has that really beautiful like coast.
Mm-hmm.
Is it uh
Soda something.
yeah,
Yeah, what's it called? It's
Gnostic maybe?
it's probably the Gnostic soda.
uh but yeah, no,
It's like the Seaside Kingdom, right?
oh probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's a good one.
Yeah. But
Um
but you think maybe just the Piantas?
well,
They're just not. I just don't think of them as like part of the Mario canon.
they really don't show up in other Super Mario games.
Right. But they show up in Kart.
They show up in Kart.
Yeah.
They're like background filler characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they're like, no more toads in this one. Can we put Mii's in this one? No Mii's in this one.
Well, I have another
Okay.
candidate, and that's Bowser Jr. Because Sunshine is the first game that Bowser Jr. appears in.
Yes, but we are of course discussing the best canon editions. I got a chip on my shoulder about Bowser Jr. You're not wrong that like he is an important part of the canon.
He's all over the place now. Like as
Yes.
soon as they, for whatever reason, as soon as they discovered Bowser Jr., they're like, we're gonna use him in everything.
Can we drill down on why that is? Why is that?
I don't know. I would love. Too bad there was no like Iwata asks or ask the developer back then,
Right.
because I would love to know like who was the champion of Bowser Jr. Right? Like who loves this character so
Right.
much?
Well, we know Miyamoto is his mother
We know Miyamoto. Yeah, that's
because
right.
he made that claim.
I don't know. Do you think this seems so silly because the entire Mario series is like very appealing for children, but do you think they think or know that it appeals that Bowser Jr. like appeals to children?
I mean, it's a great
He's like
question.
a scamp.
Let's ask the parents in the audience. Do your kids like Bowser Jr.?
Yeah, genuinely, let us know.
Like we really don't know. Obviously, you and I didn't encounter him until we were in our 20s.
I was not in my 20s when Sunshine came out.
Okay, I was right when it 2002.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was 20.
yeah.
And also I didn't play Sunshine when it came out. So, I've never felt any affection towards Bowser Jr.
Yeah, I haven't either. I do feel like with age I've softened on him a little bit, but yeah. I know what you mean about having to like I just don't want to make him
I don't want to
the
honor him in
entry
this regard.
from Sunshine. Even though, if we're being honest, he may actually be the correct answer.
What about there aren't too many of these, but what about companion character?
You mean like Flood?
Like Flood. We will see this again in the form of Cappy in Sunshine, and that's
Or in Odyssey.
Yeah, sorry, in Odyssey. But that's kind of it. So maybe that's a bad call. I think it probably just is Bowser Jr.
Oh my gosh.
or Beachy Vibes if you want to go with something that loose.
Beachy Vibes. Isle Delfino was another like thing on here. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I could go either way because I see what you're saying about Beachy Vibes. But even like Super Mario Brothers 3 had a like seaside kingdom, but it's more of an ocean world than it is.
Yeah, that's
like
that's just
a
like a straight up
beach.
water world.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Kevin
Let's
Costner. Dennis Hopper, the Smokers,
Let's do it. Let's do
Beachy Vibes.
Beachy Vibes.
All right, Beachy Vibes. I gotta say, I'm thrilled that both Beachy Vibes and Little Stinkerism have made it onto our official list here.
Well, I mean, to be completely honest, I don't think that we would have seen Mario's nipples in Super Mario Odyssey if it were not
Yeah.
for the trail that was blazed by Super Mario Sunshine.
So God bless you, Super Mario Sunshine. We are now moving on to new Super Mario Bros. The DS Classic, the return of a 2D Mario for the first time in like a decade.
Yeah.
At the time of its release. And it's got a lot of the same stuff that previous Mario games have. Like the kind of big new inventions are like the Mega Mushroom and the Mini Mushroom, both of which, like, I guess, yeah, more the Mini Mushroom comes back, I guess.
Yeah, I would say that the Mini Mushroom comes back often. Like, basically after that in the new Super Mario Brothers
Oh
games,
yeah, totally.
just like continues to be an important part of it. I don't think Mega Mushroom has ever come back.
I mean, it's in some Mario Kart games.
Huh.
The Mega Mushroom. It's in World, for example, Mario Kart World. Turns you giant, right? So like in terms of items, I mean, were either of those among your
This one I really
candidates?
struggled with because, I mean, technically Mini Mushrooms had shown up in Mario Party 4 and even Mario Pinball Land, but not looking like that. They were like pink with white polka dots and had what I think is a pacifier in its mouth.
It's like a baby mushroom.
Yeah, it's like a baby mushroom.
I'll be honest, I like that better.
But New Super Mario Brothers is like the canonical entry of the now blue with white polka dots,
Right.
like Mini Mushroom. I mean, part of me feels like it's a little bit of a cop out, but I kind of think it's like the art style.
So right, the new Super Mario Brothers art style. I had two candidates, and one of them kind of feeds into that. And it's just, I put it in quotes. Don't worry, this isn't weird. Because it is just like, this was Nintendo being like, yeah. We know we've done like 3D stuff that like a casual player is not going to be able to wrap their head around. This is at a time when that was true, right? That like 3D gaming was complicated, not accessible to everyone. But the DS was such a popular system with people who were playing different kinds of games, sort of like non-traditional gamer games. I don't want to say casual games, but like along that axis. And that this just like simplified things. There weren't branching paths. There weren't like a bunch of secrets. You didn't have to learn like complicated moves to make Mario fly around, right? It was all just kind of simple and not weird.
And it was like perfectly timed because it had been 20 years since Super Mario Brothers. And so, like you're saying, a lot of people were buying the Nintendo DS and playing like non-traditional games on it, but a lot of those people probably played Super Mario Brothers when they were growing up. And so to have a new Super Mario Brothers game that is a side scroller like they remembered, it just perfectly timed.
I also said Dry Bowser. This is the first time we see Dry Bowser.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh no, that makes sense.
Right,
this makes sense.
Because the way the Bowser fights work in this is like you fight him on a bridge and he falls into the lava. His flesh melts off.
Yeah.
And then Kamek like revives him in the form of a giant skeleton.
I mean, not to be reductive, but I think the answer is Dry Bowser.
Dry Bowser is important.
Because I would say I totally see what you're saying with like, trust us, this isn't weird. But I feel like that's kind of been Super Mario Brothers thing from the beginning is,
that's
like
true.
You're in safe hands. But Dry Bowser, nobody ever saw that coming.
No one saw it coming.
He's going to be brought out of the lava?
Yeah.
And he's a skeleton?
And he's as alive as ever, it seems. All right, so we're going with Dry Bowser, which brings us now to Super Mario Galaxy, which is the reason for the season, of course. Why we are talking about this at all, why we are hanging out on this fertile ground for conversation. I feel like there's an obvious answer here.
I think so too.
It's Rosalina.
It's Rosalina.
So obviously Rosalina comes with a lot of other stuff, and it's exciting that like they take Mario into space, and obviously we will do that again for Galaxy 2. We do it in Odyssey, and like the whole concept of like Mario in space is just like crystallized in Galaxy, but Rosalina sort of represents that.
Yeah. And check me on this if I'm wrong,
Okay.
but I feel like Rosalina was featured in Galaxy and Galaxy 2,
Right.
and people, like immediately had fandom.
Yes.
But then it was a while before Nintendo started incorporating her into other Mario things.
I mean, she appears in Smash Brothers 4 in just the next generation
Mm-hmm.
from Wii to Wii U, right? So like Mario does kind of move at a glacial pace, right? Like um we saw Shy Guys in Super Mario Brothers 2 and then we don't see them again until Yoshi's Island. The next generation, that's when we start to like fold in the weird one-off stuff. I feel like it happened on as reasonable a pace as you could hope for. But it just is it's insane that now where we are, it's like a foregone conclusion that Rosalina is going to be one of the playable characters.
And I feel like a character that will probably come up later has that same kind of like Rosalina journey a
She's
little
on
bit.
that same arc.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I agree with this.
The other possible entry at least that I had was the one Toad that made it onto my list.
Oh, sure.
And
Captain
this is
Toad.
Captain Toad.
Right.
Introduced in Galaxy.
Right. And I love Captain Toad. It is weird that he's introduced here when like it's not until 3D World, right,
Yeah.
that he like becomes what we like know and love about him.
Yeah, really makes an impact.
Yeah. So yeah, he's sort of I agree that he's introduced here and is important to the series, but he's not that important in this entry, which means it's got to be Rosalina.
Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Which brings us to New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
Yes, and again, I went sort of abstract on this, where it's just a 4-player multiplayer simultaneous.
I do think I completely agree with you. That's actually what I had for mine as well, because I mean the other things that it introduces are like different types of suits, and they just don't have.
We're doing a lot of eye rolling at the new games in this.
They're not bad. I don't think any of the new Super Mario Brothers games are bad games.
Sure.
But some of the stuff they introduced, it just felt a little bit like sometimes Nintendo like comes up with ideas that feel really exciting and new. Like I feel like Super Mario Brothers Wonder and like the Wonder Seats and some of the ideas they were really exciting. And then with the new Super Mario Brothers games, it just felt like they had a really hard time and that everything just feels kind of like derivative and not very exciting the way you hope from Nintendo, where it's like there's a propeller hat and there's
a flying squirrel.
And it's not that they're bad, but they don't engender much excitement and they have never really stuck around for very long.
Here's the thing. You said that it seems to you like they were having a hard time. I actually don't know that they were. I think in some ways the new Super Mario Brothers games are designed to be a little bit boring. They're
That's interesting.
designed to not challenge the player, and not in like a gameplay challenge kind of way, but just it does not ever present you with something that's going to make you go, huh? Or like, what is this about? Like, it's just Mario, right?
Right. Yeah, no, that's true.
And like, which, to your point of like, I don't think any of those games are bad. I do think they're all a little bit boring. And not necessarily boring to play, but just like conceptually boring games.
Yeah. So no, I agree with you completely. I think it's the addition of 4-player like multiplayer into what a Mario game can be.
Right. And this sort of like I wrote down in our list here is 4-player co-op, but that it's like it's co-op, but you're always gonna be getting in each other's ways.
Yeah.
And
it's like chaotic co-op.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so moving on now to Super Mario Galaxy 2.
I really struggled with this one.
Not me, baby.
Oh, well, let's hear yours.
I knew exactly what it was. For me, is that this is the introduction of the concept of the perfect run. So the very final level, 242 stars into this game, is a level called the Perfect Run, which is you only have one health point to get through the version of this level that is just like an intense obstacle course that is like nails hard, right? That it is like not for the faint of heart. It is for the like you're gonna memorize it. You're gonna have perfect timing and execution. It is the kind of thing that there have been hard games or hard levels in Mario games prior to this, but this is the first time they're like, we dare you to play this level.
That's such a good one. Yeah, like this kind of like gauntlet that opens up at the
Yes.
very end that is like the final challenge
Yes.
for you to overcome in this game.
The darker side of the moon, the Champion's Road at the end of Super Mario 3D World, and the final like challenge at the badge challenge at the end of Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
I never beat it. I never beat it. I got so far, but I never finished it.
The Perfect Run is the only one of those four things that I mentioned that I've never beat. Like I beat my head against the wall trying to get to the end of the Perfect Run. And it's just so like deliciously challenging and punishing. And I love it so much that yeah, for me it's just that's Galaxy 2 introduces this concept.
Yeah, that is a really good one, and that is absolutely what ours should be. I do not like those types of challenges,
Sure.
and so I rarely like seek them out at all. Like in Odyssey, I've never got close to mastering Mario's moveset to be able to do like the kind of
darker side,
platforming
yeah.
that it demands of you. I'm kind of ashamed to say mine now that we have such a good one.
What was yours? I want to hear it.
Is Dash Pepper.
Sure. This is the pepper that Yoshi eats. Yoshi's in this game, by the way. That Yoshi eats, so he turns into a Dash Yoshi.
Yeah.
It runs around real fast.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like it.
Thank you. Oh, you mean the concept?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. We're gonna. It's not going on the list. It's the Perfect Run.
Yeah. Up next is 3D Land.
A tricky one.
Yeah, a tricky one. I settled on Pom Pom, who is like
A good answer.
The sister of Boom Boom.
Girlfriend.
I think they're siblings.
Did you know this? That in the newly rebooted Tiny Toon Adventures, where they go to college.
Wait. First of all, what? I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay, so in like 2022 or something, they rebooted Tiny Toon Adventures. And they still go to Acme University, but it's like a college that they go to.
Oh,
it's like a separate, like they have first day of school. Babs and Buster Bunny are twins in it.
What?
Which is a total recharacterization of them as like friends / kind of lovers in the original series.
Oh, they're just unnecessary on so many levels.
Yes.
I looked it up, and I think Pom Pom, the familial relation, if there is one between her and Boom Boom, is unknown.
Okay, great.
Not remarked upon.
Great. But we see her like throw shuriken around, right?
And feels that same sort of like mini boss type thing.
Yeah.
That Boom Boom does.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good answer. I also have what I feel like is a perfectly good answer in the coin coffer.
Sure,
that little frog thing that's also a coin purse. He appears for the first time in Super Mario 3D Land.
Doesn't that feel like an enemy that was designed for Yoshi's Island and then later I don't know why, but there's something about that feels very Yoshi's Island to me.
It's very weird because like there aren't, I guess we do, if we're seeing like an inanimate object with like eyes on it, it's usually like a bullet. Right?
Right.
It's just here's like a weird, strange little frog that you can slam down on hard and he'll give you a bunch of coins. So I don't know. I could go either way on this one.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I don't really feel that strongly either.
I mean, like there are two things from this game that for which it I believe is notable. One is the like integrated 3D, right?
Right.
That like the visual 3D presentation on the 3DS like actually makes it so you need to see in those three dimensions to solve some of the puzzles. Very cool. And then the other is the return of the raccoon suit.
Yeah, that is true.
But that's not adding to the canon.
And right. It also, although this has become a dead end, but it introduced that like isometric, the perspective that 3D World
Right.
would use as well. I don't know. I feel like
And arguably Captain Toad. Kind of. I guess
yes.
kind of not, but still.
Yeah, I see.
It's probably Pom Pom. Like that feels like a weak sauce answer, but like I don't know that we have a better one.
Yeah. I don't know. It's another game that is not. I've never finished 3D Land.
It's good.
Yeah, it's not
good.
bad.
It's a lot
but
of
it
fun.
just kind of it's a little bit of a shrug for me.
Is
As
this the
experience.
first? Hold on. Is this the first? So by the end of this game, you're fighting Bowser with a raccoon tail. Bowser is using Mario power-ups.
Okay.
Is this the first time that happens?
Oh, that Bowser's. So we're not saying like Tanuki Bowser. We're just saying first time that Bowser
uses Mario power-ups. And does the only time that it happens again is at the
in
end
3D
of
World?
3D World? I think that might be it.
I think that might be it.
Okay, well, so another sort of dead end, I guess.
I think
Is
we
it
just
Pom Pom?
I think we just say Pom Pom and call it a day.
All right, I find this unsatisfying, but go for it, Pom Pom.
Well then, speaking of unsatisfying, New Super Mario Brothers 2 for the 3DS.
Yeah, also possibly apocryphal. Here's what I'm gonna say for the New Super Mario Brothers 2 on 3DS. Gold versions of enemies.
It's got to be a gold something.
It's got to be gold
it's
something.
It's the only thing that this game leaned into.
Right. It really like the third Austin Powers movie, and it just made everything gold. Or the third James Bond movie.
Yeah,
Goldfinger. Right.
Yep. Yeah, I don't have any good ones for this. I was like gold flower, but that doesn't show up anywhere later.
No.
Like gold shells. I actually like the gold shells mechanic when you jump on like a gold Koopa Troopa and then you kick their shell and it trail of coins goes behind it.
Which we see in like Mario Kart World. That's
true.
An item in there.
That's true.
But that is also like part of a golden enemy.
Yeah.
So let's just go with gold enemies. Look, not all the entries to the canon are going to be spectacular.
Yeah, but I think just goes to what we were saying about New Super Mario Brothers as a series in general, where they're just kind of like not trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yes, I agree. Hey, speaking of, we got another New Super Mario Brothers on the list here. New Super Mario Brothers U plus New Super Luigi U. I'm just realizing now when I look at my list that I prepared, I don't have anything for this one.
I have Nabbit. This is the first appearance of Nabbit.
Nabbit.
As an enemy in this game, but of course, later playable in entries like Wonder. But yeah, Nabbit, I think, is probably it from New Super Mario Brothers U.
Yeah. Yeah. A weird thing to stick around.
Yeah.
'Cause like, what is Nabbit?
Right.
He wears like a bunny hood.
Uh-huh.
And carries like a cartoon sack of coins behind him. Sometimes he's kidnapping a toad.
Yep.
Sometimes you're playing as him.
Do you play as him in New Super Mario Brothers U?
Deluxe, yeah.
Oh.
Like he's one of the or wait, is he in Deluxe or is he in Wonder?
He's in Wonder.
He's in Wonder. Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. What a weird dude. And like, why does he get like of all the characters in Super Mario Brothers, like why Nabbit?
Yeah, somebody must like him.
Somebody
at
like
Nintendo.
Nabbit.
I mean, I don't dislike Nabbit.
I guess I don't either. I just like I would want to give me a Nabbit game. Like we need to commit a game to Nabbit.
Let me understand Nabbit.
Yeah, I just want to know, and it should be like a dense narrative RPG with the real consequences.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's got to like really struggle with like disappointing his father or something.
Yeah, he's really depressed.
Nabbit's
really down in the dumps.
Right. You think he wants all those coins?
No,
it's a compulsion. He's trying to fill a hole in his life that's always been there.
Yep.
And he can't fill with coins.
Yeah, preach.
Won't stop him from trying. Okay, so Nabbit is our canon introduction from Super Mario, New Super Mario Brothers U, and Super Luigi U. Moving on now to a game, to a freaking game, Mark. Super Mario 3D World.
I think that this is an easy one as well. I think there's only one answer.
Is it the cat?
It's the
The
it's
cat
like
suit?
the
The Super Bell and the cat
Super
suit?
Bell and like the cat transformation.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with. When we ranked the Super Mario Brothers, do we rank them or just determine the best one? Many years ago with Christian Hume.
Oh, the power-ups.
Yeah.
I think we ranked them.
The cat bell was number one. And that's just like testament to these power-ups have been around forever and we've got a lot of nostalgia for all of them.
Yeah.
But the cat bell, the super bell that turns you into a cat, I'm getting a thumbs up from Sarah from the other side of the room.
I mean, it's really good.
The other thing that I considered is Plessy, the
Plessy is
the dinosaur that you ride around on.
Yes.
Plessy's a wonderful little character. He's got a little scarf around his neck. I love him.
He waves when you're running away.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, Plessy is really good. Plessy's very lovable.
And Plessy is also like, in Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, there are all these like levels where you're riding something or like being carried around on a bird that are like low points for the game.
Uh-huh.
And when you first encounter Plessy, you're like, oh no, another one of these. But it's never that.
No, Plessy levels are fun.
Plessy levels are fun. Plessy's adorable.
Also, is it Plessy in Bowser's Fury?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean,
but it's the cat. It totally is the Super Bell and the cat suit.
I looked it up and you're right. We just picked the best one. We didn't rank them. Mario power-ups with
very
Christian
good.
Hume. Okay, so that brings us to Run.
Super Mario Run. Now I know we deflected a little bit when earlier I suggested that New Super Mario Brothers, the great introduction to the canon, is like, hey, we're not being weird.
Yeah.
But and with the kind of premise that like all Mario games claim to be like accessible to everyone, I do think Super Mario Run is the genuine anyone can play this because it's on iPhones and Android.
I think you're 100% correct. Where I'll push back is like I don't really know that that's an entry into the Mario canon.
But it is for literally everybody. And I think where that is expanded on in Mario going forward actually isn't in the games, but the next time we see the same thing is in the Super Mario Brothers movie. Right? Like those things to me are on the same continuum. That it is them breaking out of the you have to own a console or own a Game Boy or whatever to play a Mario game. You can play Super Mario Run on the device that's in everybody's pocket. You can see the Super Mario Brothers movie anywhere you can watch something on a screen.
Yeah, I mean, a few quarters ago, Nintendo spent a lot of time talking about exactly that in their like quarterly business results Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
They did a whole presentation talking about the Mario movie being able to be released places where they don't release the Switch at the time officially, and how Super Mario Run has been an important touch point for places where the games aren't generally accessible.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because weirdly, people would see the Super Mario Brothers movie in those regions, and then the only game that they could play would be Run.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's great. And not just because Run doesn't really introduce much else to the series.
Right, it's like collecting statues and like setting them up around your kingdom. You never really do that again.
Right.
Yeah, true. Or like one button control or one hand control. None of that's really
right. Yeah.
But yeah, just this concept of this is for literally everybody.
Just for posterity's sake, mine bullet point was black coins. That tells you how dire it is.
Yeah, and you got to get pretty deep into the game before the black coins.
You do, because you have to do all the pink coins
and then all the purple coins.
Yeah. Which There are pink and purple coins in other Mario games.
True.
But this is the first time that there is black coins.
But they are functionally the same as the other two colors of coins.
Yeah, they're really dark green as well. They're not black.
Wow. Okay. All right. Moving on to Super Mario Odyssey.
Lots of good possibilities here.
Yes. Why don't you go first? Because I again have something that's a little bit more conceptual.
Okay. I think that it's like a combo. It probably shouldn't be a combo, but I feel like it has
Yeah.
to be a combo
Okay.
because in my heart I want both of them to win. But it's New Donk City / Pauline.
Right.
I think it's the reintroduction of Pauline,
And this is what you were teasing earlier when you were saying that
like
there's
Rosalina.
yeah, that Pauline is on her Rosalina arc right now. She's in Mario Kart, right? She's in all the Mario sports games. When Tennis Fever comes out, we know she's going to be in that.
Yeah, she's reached the point where when a new Mario universe thing arrives and she's not an unannounced character initially, everybody is just like, okay, but when is Pauline getting added?
Yeah, I mean, totally. And it's maybe because they're like, hey, it's a Mario game. Like, we can finally introduce, like, a fourth woman. You know? I guess fifth. Toadette's in there as well.
Right,
Okay.
right.
But yeah, so it's good. It's good in that regard. But yeah, I think that's why she's, like, part of why she's on this arc. But also, like, what a splash she makes in Odyssey.
Yeah. And I feel like New Donk City is a big part of that. I feel like
Yeah.
New Donk City hit a nerve for some reason. And I think in like a very
gotta-
positive way.
Yeah. Well, so my candidate for Odyssey is, and this may be the reverse of what happened to us in Lost Levels. So mine for Odyssey was going to be like actively playing nostalgia. That Mario Odyssey is the first time that, like, within the game they're looking back to all of Mario's history. And that is most clearly exemplified in New Donk City and Pauline. And, like, you know, she talks about being kidnapped by Donkey Kong. You collect her, like, hat and purse and, you know, just like the same items that you would collect in Donkey Kong. Like, the game is, and it does like the side scrolling 8-bit levels. Peach's Castle, we go back to it. There's this Mario 64 like alternate outfit. Like, they are actively playing nostalgia.
No, you're totally yeah, it's such a difference between like other Mario games before this would incorporate elements from older Mario games.
Yes.
But this is one that is like truly a celebration of Mario history.
Yes. Right. But I think New Donk City / Pauline is it's like the clearest expression of that.
And I would say the element that we've seen carried forward thus far. Whereas, like,
yes.
celebrating Mario's history, we don't know if that will be something that they continue to do in the future.
So I also had on my, like, list of possible things, Cappy.
I had Cappy on my list as well. But is Cappy another Flood that people like more?
I mean, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Just these sidekick characters that may or may not have souls.
Right.
All right. So Pauline / New Donk City. Moving on to Bowser's Fury, which we are taking now as like a separate piece here. What do you think, Mark?
Well, if we're going items or like things, you have Fury Bowser.
Yeah.
And you have there was the bell and like the cat transformation, but this game just introduces straight up cats.
I was
Mario.
actually gonna say that's probably it, right? Is the like the mama cat and the baby kittens. It's too recent. They've not had an opportunity to revisit this conceptually. But like pretty cute.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what else you would pick.
I don't really know either.
Unless you tried to go like really conceptual to, like, you know, open world, you know, whatever. Because that game does present itself to you as a single open world, but it's also a small game, so the world isn't that big.
Mm-hmm.
You ride around on Plessy. We get a giant furry Plessy by the end of it. God, that game's good. Cat Shines.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about, I guess it would be in 64, but like the whole concept of there are stars around a level that you collect.
Right.
That would also be like a good candidate for a Mario 64.
You're right. That would be because all of the 3D games after that have functioned around that idea.
Yeah, and sometimes they're moons, sometimes they're cat shines. But yeah, they're always this
It's
concept.
like you achieved your goal,
Right.
and your reward is this thing that you will use to unlock more game.
Right.
Is that the right answer for 64?
What did we put for 64?
Peach's Castle.
Let's leave Peach's Castle.
Okay.
Because, well, no, I don't know. Should we go back and change it to like Power Stars? Is that what they're called?
Just because that becomes so
Right.
foundational to
Yeah.
3D Mario.
I mean, I think you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Changing. We're going back. Changing Mario 64 is to Power Stars. But now we actually have to come up with an answer for Bowser's Fury. Cats?
Cats, I guess. Yeah.
Like the actual real cats that are in the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we're on to our last Mario game already, Mark, if you can believe it. Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
This, of course, introduces a bunch of new stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like the Flower Kingdom, Poplins, Wonder Seed, Poplins. I said that right.
Yeah, that's
okay.
right. Prince Florian.
Yes.
Who we do see is coming back in this tennis game.
Yeah, that's right.
He's like sitting in the umpire chair.
That's right. He's like the line judge.
Mm-hmm. Calling in and out.
They call him Trottin' Piranha Plants, the ones that follow you around and sing.
I love that.
But where I ended up landing is Elephant Mario and like the elephant fruit.
Yeah. I mean, a great call, and like an immediately iconic piece of that game. Do you think we're going to see an elephant transformation again in the future?
To be honest, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe if they make another, like a direct sequel to Wonder, or like have Wonder continue in some form or another. But no, I actually don't really expect Elephant Mario to become part of the canon in the same way that like the Fire Flower is or something.
Right. You know what I sort of think is going to have staying power in the Mario canon? And maybe just because I'm seeing it in the trailer for Mario Tennis Aces, is Wonder Seeds. And like this whole concept of like level transformations. I think it's possible they stay in that zone for a little while, right?
It's such a like versatile idea.
Fertile ground, some might say.
Yeah, that you can continue to explore.
Well, I just think about how like Galaxy took Mario into space,
Yeah.
and then like the Mario games kind of like rested in like a spacey zone for a while. Like Super Mario 3D World has a lot of space stuff in it. The Rainbow Roads became more outer spacey in Mario Kart games, and I wonder if the presence of Wonder Flowers, Wonder Seeds, will make future Mario things just a little bit more trippy and a little bit more like the world can transform out from under you.
That I really like that. I think that's a really good candidate. In that same vein, the other one I had up at the top of my list is badges, because I think badges could also make an appearance in a future game that isn't like a Wonder game and just become a mechanic in like 2D Mario going forward.
So one of my candidates for Bowser's Fury, and I didn't mention it when we were going through there because it seemed like cats is probably the right answer, but is the slightly more permanent nature of power-ups. So in Bowser's Fury, you can store up to 5 of each of the power-ups, right? The cat suit, ice flower, fire flower, all these things. Because you can store 5 of them, it means that any area you go into, you can just pop into whatever power-up you need for that moment. It makes a power-up feel way less temporary and more like a thing that you're carrying with you for the rest of the game. And that's what the badges are in Wonder, right? They are power-ups or like changes to the Mario moveset that you always have.
Yeah, and they function as tools because you can, switch them out and decide which ones you want to use.
Which one, right?
Or which one you want to use for the specific scenario. I think Wonder Seeds because we've seen it in other Mario games
Yes.
is the correct answer.
I think that's probably right. But it's just an interesting little trend to notice that they are trying to introduce power-ups in a way that don't feel so dang temporary. Wonder Seed. Okay, great. So we now have the best canon additions to the Mario franchise in each of the mainline Super Mario Brothers games. Mark, should we run them down from the top?
Yeah, let's do it.
So the first Super Mario Brothers, we're just calling this the birth of the canon. It adds everything.
And then Lost Levels is taking all of that and adding some little stinkerism.
Yep, Super Mario Brothers 2, adding the Shy Guy.
Super Mario Brothers 3, the Tanuki/raccoon suit.
Super Mario Land, there's really no question, it's Princess Daisy.
Also, Super Mario World, really no question, Yoshi.
Super Mario Land 2 6 golden coins, also again, no question, the giant wind-up Mario automaton. Wait, I mean Wario.
Super Mario 64, we changed this to be Power Stars, and I do think that that's the right answer.
I think it's the right answer. Super Mario Sunshine, we went with beachy vibes.
New Super Mario Brothers, Dry Bowser.
First appearance of Dry Bowser. Super Mario Galaxy, gotta be Rosalina.
New Super Mario Brothers Wii, introducing 4-player co-op to the Mario series.
Galaxy 2, the concept of the perfect run, the ultimate, challenging final level.
Super Mario 3D Land introduces Pom Pom.
I don't feel great about that. New Super... I don't have a better pitch, though. New Super Mario Brothers 2, Golden Enemies.
I mean, really, I would say the nadir of new additions to the canon.
Yeah.
New Super Mario Brothers U is Nabbit.
Sure. Also, I mean, we're still in the nadir here, I think. But we get out of it here pretty quick with Super Mario 3D World, the Super Bell / Cat Mario.
Super Mario Run being this is for literally everybody.
Odyssey is Pauline, who is on her Rosalina arc, and New Donk City.
Bowser's Fury, the introduction of literal cats into the Mario franchise.
And of course, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. We are saying that the Wonder Seeds are the most important, best parts that have been added to the canon with that. Mark, let's close this out. Okay, so that's what we thought. But if you, dear listener, have other thoughts about things that were added to the canon in each of these Mario games, you can email us at Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com. Or you can use that same email to get in our Discord. Or if you're already in the Discord, you should just let us know in the Discord. I am interested to know what people consider to be the Mario canon. How much have we added to the Mario canon? What are we? There's got to be something that we didn't even mention here.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we missed some stuff. So let us know.
All right, that is going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Thank you so much to our 16-bit patrons, Connor McCabe, Therese Millette, Kyle Seaborn, and Drew Mackey. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone who is listening or interacting with us in any way. Anthony DeLuca made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Eller saying thank you for listening.